So a week ago, we came here and recorded something. And for that something, we somehow got that 52 likes. No, 52 views and 7 likes. But maybe for this episode, we're gonna get 52 likes. So last episode, we recorded sort of 3 apps, and we explained that, look, we are magnificent and beautiful, and these are the apps that we use and get inspired from us. And this time we were like, maybe actually we want 52 likes. So see, my subconscious. And we want to bring something else this time. Not apps, but like something totally different. So for example, I brought a podcast today. Here we go. What did you bring, Karina, Lera?
I brought Podcastle, which is a tool that actually converts your article into a podcast, and that's about it.
Okay.
That's cool. I brought Belarus Survival Kit, the apps and stuff that I'm using to survive these times.
Well, you look half alive, so we'll figure out how do you keep the alive part still alive. So, do you actually want to start, Lera? Since
no, you go first.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. Karina, do you agree that I shall go first again?
I can go first.
See, that's much better.
Much better. Mucho mejor.
Right.
This is how you say that in Spain. Well, actually, I almost told you everything about the tool I brought you today, but I will share
that was pretty fast.
the screen. It does only one thing, but it does it pretty good. 1 second. I'm sharing it. Yeah, so basically it's called Podcastle. It's a Chrome extension, and it turns any article into a podcast, as I already mentioned. And it does it good. It is based on machine learning, artificial intelligence, all that buzzwords.
Are you showing it?
Yeah, I'm showing the thing. Yeah, so here actually is the place where you can get it. And I actually want to demonstrate you how it works a little bit. This is the article I found.
Obviously, business lady reads Financial Times. What else?
Okay.
Months after Spotify shelled out $500 million on 2 podcasting startups, Apple executives are said to be contacting media companies in the hope of funding original content and brokering exclusive deals.
What is that?
Can you show the text that it reads? Like, do you highlight something or like?
Yeah.
Since
I don't think it highlights. But...
This new phase for Apple's streaming service comes at a time when audiences for voice-based programming are growing rapidly.
Mm-hmm. But how does it know what to read? How does it know what to read? For example, why doesn't it, like, it can read a menu as well, like home, world, US company, stack, Twitter logo?
That's the thing about it. Somehow it actually recognizes where the article is and what parts to read and what parts not to read. And it shows you the time that this article takes. And actually, yes, it sounds a little bit like you're talking to a robot, but just slightly bit comparing to all the other tools that I've listened.
I was about to say that actually it sounds like kind of like human is reading it, because I was expecting that there would be like really robotic voicing, like Apple is on the and stuff like that.
You just listen to Siri too much. Don't listen to Siri that much. There are better AI solutions.
Exactly. And that's the reason why I use it. I love it a lot. And sometimes you're doing something and then the interesting article comes in and bam, and you're listening. But the only thing I'm missing is it's not available on the phone yet. It's only as a Chrome extension, but on the website, it says that something is coming. So maybe we should expect something else.
Do you have to pay for it? Since, I mean, it's a backend, it's programmer, so it's not just like...
Nope, it's free. It's free to use as a Chrome extension, yes.
That's so cool.
Why? So what are usage pattern for that? So do you just find an article and then have the AI read it out for you, or but like when exactly? What's
Yeah, well, sometimes someone is sharing the article, and sometimes I'm not able to read it just the moment someone is sharing. And in this scenario, I usually turn on this thing and just listen to it. And bam, in like, I don't know, 10 minutes, I'm already aware of what it says. So this is like the usual.
Is it? It can read only English text or also different other languages, or you don't know?
I don't know. I haven't checked. I checked it only with English, and my guess is it's only English at the moment. But we can try.
let's try some Spanish
Yeah.
Spanish.
or French. I
Yes.
don't know. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
What are we going to read?
We are going to read a newspaper.
Okay.
That's the only website that actually comes to my mind. This is something I read here sometimes.
Violence, yes. That's what we like in this chat.
Yay!
Okay, I'm turning in the very first article they
Mhm.
actually
Yeah, sure.
offered
Okay.
me here. So I didn't
Oh.
actually.
But it's
Okay,
translated.
I'm converting. It
Can
is
you
translated.
untranslate
Maybe it
it?
is. Okay, I'm untranslating it. Okay.
So let's go.
Okay. Waiting. Yes.
Oh, it needs
No.
time to initialize, or
Yeah, it needs some time.
Yeah, I guess it needs to
A
understand
sentence,
first.
without further details, at the end of the intervention of the minister adjust.
Okay, it's reading directly in my earphones. 1 second.
yeah,
No,
but
we hear it.
A sentence, without further details, at the end of the intervention of the minister adjust.
No, for some reason it reads it
it's English.
still English. Maybe it's because I can.
Una frase sin más detalles al final de la intervención del ministro de Justicia, Juan Carlos Campo, en su respuesta a la pregunta parlamentaria de Laura Borras JXK.
¡Trabajas!
A lady came into
arriba.
my head. That
Oh,
was
that was amazing.
yeah.
Maybe it actually works with Russian as well.
Wanna try that?
Wow. Yes, I want to check that.
Yeah, okay.
So there was a man, there was a lady, and for Russian, for example, gonna be a kid or I don't know, a choir?
Beer.
A beer?
Could be.
A beer? Can
Okay.
you be less stereotypical? I don't know. I mean, a beer.
Okay, I'm taking again the very first
Yeah.
article they offered
sure.
me, okay? And apparently it's actually about the app, face recognition app.
Okay.
Let's see.
We're gonna have AI overload.
Yeah. Okay. Yes or no? Is it converted? Yeah.
Do you
How do
have
you
any
see that?
status?
Компания планирует выпустить инструмент распознавания.
No. Maybe it's translated again.
No.
Let me
It's like reading the Russian letters with English accent, like company planariat.
I see what it does.
Компания планирует выпустить инструмент распознавания агрессии.
It's so fun.
No. Maybe.
Oh, that's amazing.
Probably. But
Okay,
yeah, so
it
it's
doesn't
Podcastle.
really work with Russian yet.
Right.
Yeah,
But
still.
You know English and Spanish
right.
so far.
Lera, how would you use this app? Like you're not podcast listener, so why do you look excited?
Well, actually, like I really like the experiment thing where like we were trying different languages and so on and so on. But I don't know. Maybe I would use in some case when I would be like too lazy to read something. But Yeah, I want to try it once at least to see will it fit me or not.
Maybe we'll
really.
get you into podcasting with that. But do you want to continue, Lera, or shall I continue showing
You
something?
continue.
I
I'm gonna
continue.
finish our discussion with depression.
Sure,
Yes.
sure, sure. And I have something to show. I didn't want to show that, but now that we went through an AI that reads websites, here we go. I have an AI that reads podcast threads. So, in case you ever wanted a robot to read, PlayStation versus Xbox rants on Twitter or some other rants on Twitter, here we go. We have an AI that just reads it. But that's not what I'm showing. I'm not showing that. That's not the point. That's not the topic for today. This is what is the topic for today. That's
What
a
happened?
podcast.
What is the topic for today? I'm wondering. Okay.
We got a plot twist.
Oh.
We got a plot twist. We just got a plot twist. What I wanted to show today is a podcast about Zoom fatigue. Actually, it's not just a podcast. They have an article about that. So, Recode is a podcast by Vox Media. They're great. And there is this article and there is this podcast. And what they tell in this episode is basically that blah blah blah, 6 months remote world, and we're all tired of Zoom calls. And what they say in this article and what they don't agree with is that we get tired, we as in humans, society, get tired of Zoom calls because the technology doesn't work, because the sound doesn't work, because we need dedicated devices so it works, because we don't like hanging out in calls, and like holographic future might work, that we sort of talk not to the screen but to holographic representation of human beings. And they go into thinking like, look, remember how it was with the first telephones, and it was people also didn't believe that phones make sense, and now we're using phones and we're fine. So I agree about Zoom fatigue. I agree that hanging out in meetings for a while doesn't work. And like this Zoom fatigue is a thing that sort of defines our reality these days, and like this back-to-back meetings. But I don't agree that the fix is the technology. I am a strong believer that the fix is the culture. And by saying the culture, I mean the way people behave on these calls. So, for example, they say that, look, like even right now, right? So you are watching sort of at me, but my eyes look down, because like that's where I see you, and this is how I'm talking to you. But the camera is here. So if I'm talking like this, sort of, it's more immersive. And that's what they say in this article. So that's one of the reason of another reason of the anxiety. So where I was trying to say that the technology might help, but then again, after a few months in the lockdown, we already have microphones, and good microphones. So like, look at Lera with her ASMR microphone. Right? Karina has ASMR friendly microphone. Come on, can you show your microphone is beautiful?
Yeah.
Right? See? And I also have the most beautiful setup. See?
Oh, you
It's
changed the phone.
perfect. It's perfect. So If you want to get this joke, you can scroll down in this YouTube and watch a video number 3, where apparently I'm showing my beautiful mic setup, and there is a tin can from coffee. But that's not the point. Let's not waste the time. What I'm trying to say right now, that I feel by having lots of Zoom calls, by doing a lot of virtual and online events, by having this recording right now, and we have that often, the main problem that the Zoom calls, the audio calls, get people anxious or tired is that the time not used wisely, the time that people use to sort of sit up, like, oh, do you see my screen? No, you don't. Like, oh, do you hear me? I'm sorry, I was muted. It's like after a while, when each meeting's like 10 minutes you spend for tuning up the sound and the video, and also right here we are in Discord right now, and we can talk simultaneously, and it works because it's the client app that sort of mixes the sound. And for example, in Zoom, the sound is mixed on the server and it broadcasted. And that's why several people talking at the same time, like, the sound get worked. And
in my opinion, can I disturb you? I guess yes. In my opinion, the problem in Zoom calls is not about Zoom, it's about calls in general, because for my generation, calls is something like creepy. I don't know. If someone is calling me, I feel anxiety in general. It doesn't matter, is it like Zoom or just simple phone call, because it reminds me of my childhood when my mom is calling me to be angry at me and like shout that I haven't done my homework. So
right.
you know.
Right. But then we in this Discord community have Friday socials, avocado calls. I just keep renaming them each week, so for some reason. But you don't get anxious, and people don't get anxious of these calls. And I have very good reasons why, and that's the reason why they happen each week. So, for example, Lera, do you get anxious of our Friday calls?
No, maybe first time I did, but then no.
Yeah, and Karina also, like, you hooked on these calls, and you look and sound happy on these calls.
Yeah, with these calls, I don't have any problem. I keep thinking about what's wrong with Zoom calls, and I'm trying to figure out. So keep on, and
yes,
by the end,
I have two more.
I
have 2 more minutes. So this is my theory, or rather, not just a theory, but more of a practice. And you are fine. Like, you're just fine. There is nothing to bother. What happens if the connection drops? Well, you just reconnect. What happens if the sound is bad? Well, the sound is bad. Like, there is a car, there is an airplane, there is a kid crying. Like, it's just fine. So the expectation and how people behave.
Yeah, I just think in general that this call is not like kind of like mandatory thing. I feel like, oh, okay, if it goes wrong, I just can drop it and like that's it for today. I'm not feeling like that I have to do it. It's not like I had Zoom lectures and I had to sit like all the time and like pretend that I'm listening what's happening in my university and so on and so on.
And we don't see you. Meaning, if you just, cooking or like doing some other stuff that you wouldn't want people to see, it's fine. It's fine. You can mute and unmute yourself at any time. You can go to gym. So, for example, I go for a walk each time we have these calls, and you hate me for that because I walk, and I mean, it's in Stockholm, so it's windy, and you hate me for that, but it's fine, I guess. It's fine. So, I just think that Zoom fatigue is not about the technology. It's about how we do these calls. and like the process and the culture, and if
And
you
people, with whom are you doing these calls? Because I believe it, for me, it matters a lot, actually.
the moderator matters a lot. Like if there is a vibe, a friendly vibe, and if
Yeah.
whoever owns the call, it can be a community. So for example, in our calls, it's the community who owns the call.
Yeah.
And like for example, you shut me down quite often, so and it so that's how it works. It's about the culture, it's about the friendliness, it's about being inclusive, it's about, well, the vibe. And that's why social audio apps are booming right now. And this is why we're starting a new game development focused calls in this Discord. But I have used all my time today. Lena, are you clapping me? Did you clap me?
Yes.
Was I great?
Amazing.
Oh.
Let's go.
Let's go into depression.
Yeah. Actually, I will show something a little bit later, but I will slowly move from your topic about Zoom calls, just in general, because like as far as some of you may know that like during the protests, during my revolution, they turn off the internet. So the only way to communicate with people is to call each other, you know, like in back old times. And for me, it was such a terrible anxiety because I don't know, I've called last time when I was back in school, and here I have to come back to old times, and I felt so uncomfortable with that because I'm like, can I count myself as a Z generation?
Are you asking like if we allow you to count yourself? Or, like
Yeah.
what? Yes, you can count yourself.
Okay. I'm considering myself as like Generation Z, so like for me, calls in general, it's something like old-fashioned. And right now I have to do this every weekend, so I'm like got really mature about that. So I'm not anxious about
Wait.
Zoom calls anymore. So yeah.
I don't get it. Why do you have to have calls?
Oh, because there is no internet, and if you want to know what's happening around you, people have to call you.
And like ask
So-
what is the weather in another district, or like
No, they're saying like don't go there. There's police. They're gonna catch you there, and you're like, oh, okay, thank you. So it's like safety calls, you know, or like my mom is sitting at home and she can use the internet like home internet, like Wi-Fi, and she's like looking at the news, and then she's calling me and she's like, don't go through this street because it's dangerous there. So you know, this is how it works. It's kind of like going to old-fashioned communication style.
okay.
So yeah, and obviously I have to use like VPN even like during weekdays. So like that's Belarus Survival Kit. So yeah, the most important is like VPN thing.
But VPNs in general, they're working. Or
I mean,
not all of them.
not all of them, first of all, and on weekends they're not working at all. Nothing works. So like it doesn't matter.
Also.
Siphon? No, it doesn't work. No,
Okay.
Nothing works.
And
So
like you just
that's the
cannot
thing.
connect.
No, you cannot connect. That's it.
Okay.
So yeah, the only thing that you can do is like to call. So yeah, and obviously we are using the Telegram as a messenger. It's like also really important here because right now I have like a lot of chats with my neighbors, with all my friends. Like all like news are going from there. Yeah, and I've seen that they posted that there's a like application for Telegram, like bot, and it's I don't know, you put it in your chat with your neighbors, for example, and it somehow recognizes who is like police there. I don't know, like really
Hidden
how it
police?
works.
I mean, if we have AI read Spanish newspaper, can we have AI, figure out who is a secret police?
Yeah,
in a news
so
chat?
that's amazing. They like created
So-
it like
It can recognize if the police is in the house.
In the chat of Telegram.
In the chat.
Yes.
Okay.
Because we have like chat with our neighbors, so yeah. And that's amazing. I'm not sure how it works because they didn't really want to say that police would not recognize how to avoid what to do that they would not be recognized.
And
so,
I mean, since it's artificial intelligence, let's think. And artificial intelligence, I mean, it's not coded; it's trained. So probably this poor bot was exposed to thousands of police officers to figure out their moves, right? Can you just feel bad for this? This poor robot.
To actually train based on their behavior in Telegram, right?
Yeah. So, like, that's amazing.
It's so sad.
I mean, yeah, at one point it's super sad, but at another point it's such a cool technology. I really like how they.
I'm sad about the bot that had to watch thousands of police officers to learn their behavior. I mean, have some empathy to robots.
Well, bravery for them and so on and so on. And also, there is like one app which they created. So basically, there are some companies who support our government, like, I don't know, who are making milk or meat or something like that. So there is an app. So I can show maybe from phone. So you can scan the barcode. That's why I brought even the milk, run the milk from my fridge to show that. So yeah, you press this to scan the barcode. Like, I don't know if you can see it. It like scans.
Okay.
And it says, "Oh, you can buy it, so it's good one." They're not supporting.
Once again, good government. As in not the milk is good. It's not government milk.
Yeah. That it's just like
if the company supports government or if
the cow.
It's produced by government.
If the cow supports the government.
Yes.
So yeah, we're laughing, but it's sad. But well, what can we do, right?
Because people don't really want to pay for like money for government that they would be beaten later for their own money. So people trying to avoid this so much, so they're creating like blacklist. They created blacklist of products before, and like this week, I suppose they created this app which calls as Krama. So you can like scan the product. So you would not need to search in the all list, like which milk I can buy, which I cannot. So it's like way more easier to do like this. I'm like, that's amazing. That's so cool.
When you go to a store, do you just like scan each product when you're going to a store?
Does it work with all the products?
The ones that I've checked, it worked. I haven't found yet where it didn't work, and Alek is probably...
We missed your question. Or comment.
It was not
or something.
Probably it was a creepy joke, so it's fine to miss it.
Oh, okay. Because you started lagging, so I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yes, that's what I do.
So yeah, it's like really fun life right now, you know.
What about the Telegram things? So
yeah, like. Basically, how I told you before, we are using it for everything, but as it's kind of hard for government to control it and like to. But even our government are making like Telegram channels, like news Telegram channels there for some reason. So they're like saying that Telegram is evil thing and blah blah blah, and then like later on they're making their channels there. So.
But then it sort of matches. I mean, so in order to train a robot to distinguish a government official from a normal human being, you let the robot read this government chats.
Yeah.
And then the robot, like, after a million face palms, the robot is like, I
know who you are.
Yes.
I've
seen this thousands of times. I know this shit.
Yeah, but the robot can be trained vice versa. It can be trained to actually manage the channel that will be supported by government, but it will manage it the way that it will look like it's not supported. But somehow, well, this is conspiracy, I know, but still, I mean, it can be used vice versa, right?
I hope that our government don't understand English at all, so because it sounds like very good idea for them, you know.
Yes, but we still need likes. So government, like Belarus, I mean, we still appreciate your like. No? No.
I don't.
Okay, not all of us, but you can like, but Lera won't appreciate that.
Yeah.
I mean, we are digging somewhere where we should not. But shall we call it a day, since we have consumed our 30 minutes? And next time, right here, we will do something else. Maybe we will bring some other content, maybe an app, maybe another Belarus Survival Toolkit if Lera survives. Maybe
It's
a
a mystery every
podcast,
time.
maybe a podcast, maybe a movie, maybe an article, maybe something else that we really care about.
I also think that we still have that question open about Zoom. So if anyone has an idea why Zoom is not that effective or why we have that Zoom fatigue
Anxiety.
whatsoever or anxiety, please comment. Because I'm still thinking about that. I can get rid of that. And yeah, so I will comment as well whenever I come up with my thoughts.
And let's hope that actually somebody watches this video till the end. So
My mom. And she doesn't even understand what's going on here because she doesn't know English. But
Oh.
Yes, I mean, let's stop it.